call.
Councillor Marcus.
Here.
Councillor Larson.
Here.
Councillor Kuechly.
Here.
Mayor Swanson.
Here. Report from department heads. We don't have anybody from Public Works, but we have fire and ambulance. Josh?
Should I touch on base? We've had a couple meetings. Ryan joined us for our fire hall meeting last night, and then we ended up talking with the Virginia Fire Chief for a while. So we kept him up for a little bit. Just looking to see if we're going to keep pursuing or which direction we're going to go. I did talk to the members and put a survey out to them so they can answer openly and honestly, and getting a little over half the responses back already. We're still showing a push that we need to do something, and the first option that we talked about is a strong one amongst everybody over there. A little more interest. A couple people want to explore some of the options we talked about last night. I believe maybe you were in contact with the Virginia mayor, so
Yes.
Just kind of see what's going to happen, and what our next step is. So I know there is another party interested. He knows that he can come and he can approach the city if so. I don't believe he has quite yet, but as long as we keep moving, I guess I'm okay with that. As long as we don't hit a roadblock or stall out halfway through. So because the calls have been picking up, and obviously now we're down a couple members, which is going to be expected when you have a new child, but we're going to fill it. So other than that, fire side has been pretty status quo for us, so that's good. Depending on how the spring goes, we'll look at whether we can get out and burn or not. We got hydrant flushing that's going to have to be done, but again, that's just going to depend on the resources that we have at hand. So with moving on to the ambulance stuff, I would like to see if we can get approval to get somebody in here and start looking at the rigs and getting us a good market value on what we have.
Appraisals done.
And
Are
as
there
hard as
people
it
around
is,
to do that, Josh?
I don't know. Essentially, I think we're gonna end up reaching out to some of the bigger companies that, or maybe if touch base with our neighbor in one, being as though he's kind of been operating, maybe that's something he would be interested in consulting. So.
We'd have Ryan look into that. Do we need a motion? I don't think we need a motion to have you go ahead and look into it, but to actually have some appraisal work done.
Yeah, we would need a motion.
We need to know too, if we're gonna look at it.
I would make that motion to have an appraisal done on the
Equipment.
The equipment and the license, the PSA, essentially whatever fuel ambulance entitles.
And in general too, if you just go online, they have used stuff on there that kind of generally tells you a 2015 ambulance is worth.
Yeah. And like I say, fortunately our equipment and gear isn't that old, what we paid new for it, again with some of the equipment added. So biggest thing is going to be trying to get a dollar amount on what our PSA is worth.
Well, I wouldn't imagine an appraisal is gonna cost a lot of money.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
You made a motion, I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
So I'm gonna leave it at that for tonight, unless you guys have any questions for us.
Sounds good. Have you guys been busy?
Yeah, we've been
Lots
very
of
busy.
stuff,
So.
yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. Engineering attorney, long-range planning and zoning coming up. Recreation board, I don't know, have they met yet?
They'll meet this coming Monday.
Okay. Library board meets in a couple of weeks, be the end of the month. Sheriff, we've got a report tonight, which is nice to see. It looks like they've been fairly active in Buhl and have had some good results too, so that's good to see. Clerk's report?
Just the extra information from you, the sheriff's report. It'll be posted on the bulletin board out here as well. Also, there's some updated water temps up there as well, and also a crack sealing map that Trent had put together, and I tried to stay in the lines highlighting it for you guys. But basically his thinking was to try to keep our newest roads, as good as we can. So that was kind of his reasoning. Also, our IRRB grant was submitted last week, so that's good to go. Again, the televising and the jetting from Roto-Rooter out of Nashwauk is about 85% completed. A couple weeks ago, I attended training down in the cities, which included new clerks orientation, different sessions on accounting, budgeting, planning and zoning, you name it.
Did you learn anything?
I learned quite a bit. A lot more to learn as well. So I'd just like to thank the council for that. And then the last thing, I got a reminder from the Boy Scouts just to remind the council and the citizens that they are having their spring picnic on Saturday at noon.
And we're all invited to that, so. Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Citizens Forum, anybody want to? All right, consent agenda minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of March 20th and the special meeting of March 28th.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
Also move that we pay the claims of $52,309.45.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. That's our first order of business. Tony's official retirement. Tony Kutzler is officially retiring as of May 31st.
Make the motion to accept Tony's resignation effective May 31st.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Very nice letter. And we thank Tony for all the years he's put in for Buhl.
Indeed.
All right, spring cleanup, we have a date set, if the council so moves, of June 11th through June 14th. And any items that need to be paid for would be paid for by June 8th before the cleanup begins, so they're aware of it and can make arrangements to pick up any of the larger items.
Reason being it's later in June, we moved it because we hire the kids then.
And they can help out with it.
They help out.
Right.
When we had it in May, it was just us.
A little much.
In June, it gives us,
So it's not really spring cleanup anymore, it's summer cleanup. But in Minnesota, it could be winter cleanup.
Yeah.
The way it's going.
and then the city will post what you can throw out there and what you can't, and
Right, that'll be posted at the post office and city hall and the library. Can I have a motion to approve the dates?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to set the spring cleanup for Monday, June 11th through Thursday, June 14th, with all items paid for by June 8th.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. The MIBPA calendar ad is $55. Along with that ad, we also get one calendar. We've done this through the past years. A little bit of advertising and good PR, I think.
can we get maybe a shot of the Buhl water tank on you?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
We can do that.
You know,
Yeah, something. Okay.
It actually is on the original. It's
Yeah,
just
okay.
when I copied it, didn't come through.
okay.
So
Didn't show up.
it is on there.
Okay.
So we'll do something else.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't even know that, but
Okay. Can I have a motion?
also move that we pay the $55 for the annual calendar advertising.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. St. Louis County crack sealing agreement. This we do with the county, and they will come through and do cracks, and we have a fee of $5,000 for the cost of this, which
Up to.
up to, yeah.
The city budgeted $10,000 for street maintenance material. And this would come out of that part of their budget. So it's basically covered.
It looks like we're looking at Wanless, Mueller, and then the new addition, Franklin, Pierce, and Jefferson, and President's Avenue, and Monroe.
Well, Forest and Culver should be done
I think
by the
Forest.
county.
Yeah, that's a county road.
Last summer, they did it,
Oh.
Forest in Pennsylvania.
But the actual county roads would be their expense, not
Yeah.
the city's.
And then Pennsylvania would be theirs too, up to the top of the hill, I guess. So, well, I don't know what,
We can request it, I suppose, or that they look at that as well. But that would be on their dime, not ours.
I know
we can inspect that when the polar vortex leaves and then we can say we need a little bit done on Pennsylvania or a little bit done on 4th Street or something.
While you're here,
Yeah.
would you look? Can I have a motion to approve this agreement?
Make the motion that we approve the agreement with the county for the crack sealing for a total of up to $5,000.
I'll support that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Public Works interviews, we've got to set some interviews, dates. The Personnel Committee met with the clerk and we did pick the top candidates. There was one more recommended by Trent that we also look at, and we were fine with that as well. I don't know if anybody went in and looked at the other ones. They were available in the office if you wanted to look at them, but we pretty much went by who had all the qualifications we were looking for.
Well, I think we have to add at least Tony Allen. He's got all the qualifications we're asking for. And I don't know if you read the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah. This is not the other guy. This is a different one of the 8.
in your packets, the top 5 were marked, and then
There's
the other 3 that had
Right,
the rest were just in there for the council's review.
right,
Well,
right.
he didn't ask for this, because you have that page,
Right.
but he has 4 years on it.
Well, yeah,
Plus he's,
there would have been reason why during our discussions we didn't, but I'm fine with that.
Yep.
John, if you think we should interview an extra one, I don't think any of us have a problem with that, because our thought was when we were going through this was if Chisholm ended up with how many people applying, that we could end up with just a real stack, and we didn't. I mean, I think it's manageable, and if we want to interview 6, I think that's fine. You want to add him to it, then maybe we can just set a date
Yeah, I
and
mean,
agree to interview the top,
well,
these
if you look at
6.
this guy's
Well, yeah, we
one of the
looked.
top
We
qualifiers.
looked. He qualifies, but,
Let's just keep the names confidential.
yes.
Yeah,
So
this guy.
what we're looking at then is actually the date,
Yeah, date or dates and times.
and we'll want to do that before too long here with Tony leaving at the end of next month, in case we decide that none of the 6 really are what we're looking for. We can put it out there again. If we find somebody that we decide we want to hire, we'll have to decide when we want them to start. And I would think a couple weeks before Tony heads out would be time to kind of get familiar with the equipment.
And there is money there for an overlap with
Right.
organizing on it. So
Should we try to organize 3 and 3 or go for 6 or?
at your discretion, I mean, either a time slot of maybe 3 hours one night, 4 to 7, 5 to 8. That way you could
You
fit
know
in.
what we've done in the past is we've done like 4 in a night and we give them half-hour slots. And then if you don't fill one, you try and not leave a gap of an hour between one interview and another. But we might have 4 on one night and 2 on another, but if we had a couple of nights anyway where we would be up here for a couple of hours at least. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I'm
I
fine
mean,
with
that's
that.
what
That's
we generally, that's what we've done. A half hour, I think, is long enough for an interview.
You know, these guys may be available at 4 o'clock. You know, these guys get done to work, we could be here at 4 o'clock or 4:30.
But if any of them work other jobs,
Well,
it's
that's the
good,
thing.
4 to 6.
You know,
If some have to be later than that, I think we could be flexible too, couldn't
It'll be
we?
fine.
well, I mean.
But it's good if you can do
4:30,
back
a
to.
5, and a 5:30, in case, you know, say, one of the guys
And
can't make it at
6.
4, 4:30,
Sounds good,
Yeah.
John.
you know, it gives you a 3-hour window, or an hour and a half window.
Yeah, I don't see any of them coming from too far away. Hopefully
No, they're all
that will work
pretty
okay.
local.
And if any of them have an issue with the time, I think we'd be flexible to work
Yeah.
it. But we should set a date for interviews. So, what are we looking at? First of all, I gotta get on April here for us. Oh, I'm doing really well. Thank you. All right, okay, today's the 3rd. All right, so I don't know if there are nights that work better for you guys. You have nights where you have conflicts.
Right now, everything is hunky-dory.
Pretty open right now.
Yeah.
And Trent was pretty open as well, except for Friday of next week, which I don't think we're gonna be doing interviews on Friday.
I don't know that we'd have him on the interviews. We haven't in the past, unless we decide we want to have him here. I think we're kind of daunting just having 5 counselors interviewing somebody, but
I don't know, maybe it won't hurt to have them sit in.
You can just do it one week, like the 17th and the 18th or something.
we have council on this
No,
now.
that's what I meant, 4 o'clock or 4:30, brings us into 6 o'clock. And then, you know, get rid of, you know, do them, not get rid of them. That didn't sound good.
Well, Wednesdays are a little tough for me. Could we shoot for like maybe Monday and Tuesday, 16, 17? Would
There
that
we
be
go.
okay? And we'll shoot from 4 to 6?
Or 4:30 to 6,
Okay.
yeah, whatever works.
4 to 6 would give us 4 time slots, so if we get 4 people who want to come one night,
Oh, yeah.
we could.
And then we can change the 17th one if,
Yeah,
the 5 o'clock.
right?
Okay, perfect.
If it works.
Yeah.
16th and 17th from 4 to 6.
Yeah. Do we need a motion for that?
Yeah.
Can I have a motion to accept those dates and times?
Motions, we do interviews the 16th and 17th from 4 to 6.
Support.
And that would be including our top 6 picks.
Yes, for the top 6, for the 5 that the personnel committee and the 1 added by John. I think that's fine, yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Water trickling, it looks like the water temps are still
Yeah.
too cold to
They're
stop
actually
yet.
colder, yeah.
Yeah, I just put it on the agenda just for an
Yep.
update for the
And
citizens.
it should be there at every meeting so that when the
Okay.
time comes, we don't
Miss it.
miss it, yeah. So for now, if people who are trickling may continue to do so. And if you do have water issues and want to trickle your water, call the city and they will prorate it.
Even if it starts to warm up, leave it run. Or,
Right? People think that it's only in the cold weather that they have frozen pipes, but this is the time of year that it happens.
It
So
happens, yeah.
if you've had problems in the past, you may want to trickle. All right. Anything else? I think we've hit the bottom.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.